the Silver Screen City. Welcome back to Silver Screen Cynics. This is Jared.
And I'm Michael.
Today we are going to discuss... What are we discussing? I forgot.
We're discussing worst casting decisions and who should have been taking their place.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. It was fun thinking of all the people that would play these roles. There's several people that have been completely miscast, and we tried to think of our personal favorites, or least favorites, I suppose. And it was awesome trying to think of who would replace them, because, you know, this is like a dream. Who would we'd rather see in these awesome roles?
Yeah, at first it was really hard to come up with some of these people because basically, let's be honest, you could honestly recast anybody who did a terrible job or just was bad, or the movie was bad. For example, who's not on our list, but like Shia LaBeouf. He was terrible. He totally could have been recast, but
in everything.
we can't just like, oh, recast him because he was bad and the whole movie was bad. It would just because we wouldn't want to recast him, because then that would give us reason to maybe like one of his Transformer movies a little bit, and we don't want to do that. We want to hate those movies.
That's
so
right. Yeah, we're gonna keep
avoided
it
that.
And the thing is that most of these movies that I picked anyways, they were brought down because of the actor, and we tried to pick someone that would have elevated the role and made the movie all the more better.
Yes. Or just sometimes it was weird. Sometimes it seemed very like, oh, let's cast somebody hip and cool and popular, and it just ended up being really bad.
Yes.
So, yes. Well, shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Start us
I'll,
off.
I'll start us off because my list is a little long. All right, the first one on my list, I picked Christopher Lambert as Raiden in Mortal Kombat. And that doesn't make any sense, for one thing. He's not Asian. and he has this ridiculous voice where he kind of talks like this.
I'm Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, Christopher Lambert. Johnny Cage, we must go save Johnny Cage and Sonya.
Yeah, you're like, is he from Europe? No, he just talks weird.
Yeah, just has a weird voice, and he's not Asian and doesn't fit the character at all. And who I would have picked, I would love to see Donnie Yen, just because I love Donnie Yen from Ip Man movies. And yeah, he's a good actor, and he's a fantastic martial artist, and I think he would have just killed the role. I want to see him in every Asian actor role. Just pick him for everything. He's great.
Pretty much, they should have just recast the entire cast of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they are kind of low grade. I don't think there's a single actor in there that's really an A-lister.
Sonya was Billy Madison's girlfriend.
Yeah, she had a little
sprite of
success.
movie success, and then it was
she dropped
shut
off.
down immediately. Yeah.
Oh well.
Other than that.
But you know, to her credit, she didn't play Sonya in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, so she kind of knew when to get out. She's like, nope.
Yeah. Nobody played the same characters except Liu Kang. They could only like scrape up enough money to
we can get one guy back.
Get one guy back. It was like the least known guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, well, you're lucky because Beverly Hill Ninja just wrapped up, so I'll take it. That's right. That's right. She started with Chris Farley and Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh my gosh.
What a resume. Anyway.
All right, your turn.
My turn. All right. Oh yeah, by the way, you should just find Christopher Lambert's Wikipedia and look at the picture of how he looks today. He looks super creepy. That's why I was kind of giggling through your whole thing. Christopher Lambert, Wikipedia. Look at that.
On his Wikipedia. Oh my gosh. And he's like, hello, Jared. What?
Hello, Jen. I've had all the plastic surgery. Yeah.
Wow, he's got kind of a Thomas Jane look to him. He has it's
Yeah.
like Tom Jane's dad or something or older brother.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does look a lot like Thomas Jane. Maybe that's what he wanted to look like. Creepy. Thomas. Anyway.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to go a little more current for my first pick and say that this is one actress, two different movies, and this might make a couple people be like, "Ah, what?" My pick is Jennifer Lawrence in the movie Joy and in the movie American Hustle. Yes, two Oscar nominated performances. That's right. I particularly picked her not because I have a lot of beef with her. I think she is a pretty good actress. But my main concern and thing is, what the heck? She's in her mid 20s and she's playing like a middle aged woman with kids.
Yeah, the
Like,
believability is way off base.
yeah, it is totally like a popularity contest. Just kind of like, oh,
Well, it's
Jennifer
just the
Lawrence.
same director, right? The same like director just has a thing for her, and he wants to put her in like all of his movies.
Yeah, she's got an infatuation. I think are those directed by the same thing, Joy and American
I
Hustle?
believe so.
Yeah, it's
David O. Russell.
wow, he did all three.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Silver Lining Playbook.
She was great in that. She was
Yeah.
perfect in that. But okay, yeah. It's come on. Come on, American Hustle and Joy and I mean, I'm sure he would have casted her in Three Kings had she not been 10 years old. Uh, would you like to play a reporter, little girl?
Would you like to play an American soldier?
Yeah. So anyway, I just think it's kind of like get over her, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Get over her, David O.
yeah, David. Oh, I'm obsessed with Jennifer Lawrence. Um, yeah, too young, wasn't believable. We just watched Joy a couple nights ago, and her playing like this like struggling mother and like holding her family together. And I was like, she is way too young and inexperienced for this. This is not believable. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Uh,
it doesn't matter how good of a performance you'll give if you are not like fit for the role, like physically,
yeah,
it's not going to read well.
yeah. So anyway, I think she's got some growing to do. So
Right.
anyway, some literal growing. Oh, for recasting, I had some wonderful, slightly older women that would be great. For Joy, I think Amy Ryan would be amazing.
Oh yeah, Amy
Super
Ryan.
great actress.
She is the role. Or she would have been just amazing in that role.
Yeah, super likable. She definitely. I mean, she was in Gone Baby Gone. She nailed that sort of like.
That's probably one of the best female performances I've ever seen in Gone Baby
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah. And it
Holy
was like
moly!
scary how good she was.
Yeah,
Like, and she just nailed that sort of like hardworking mother. She just has that about her.
and then she's hilarious in The Office. I mean,
Yes, and she's great in the office, so
she's
very well
very
grounded.
versatile.
Yeah. And then another slightly older actress who looks younger than I think she is, but Chloe Silvani or Silvani.
Savini, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah. Well, she's the same caliber as Jennifer Lawrence. Just, I mean, well, no, not the same caliber. She's more experienced, but she's older, and I think she would. She looks young, but she is older. Therefore, she's got some good range,
Hmm.
so she could play young while still being older. And then when it's time to play older, she can play older. So, but anyway, I picked her for American Hustle. So just split the role, so it's not the same
Very
same
good.
person.
That's
Yeah,
a good pick.
thanks.
My next one, I picked Joan Cusack in Toy Story 2 and 3.
Ugh.
Now, I
Whoa! That was my Joan Cusack. Oh,
yeah,
oh, I'm Joan Cusack.
yeah. She has, this really needed someone with a just a nondescript, just a good voice. There's so many voice actresses out there who just have an average, you can have anyone be a peppy female. Joan Cusack has the most grating voice. The sound of her voice is like Mike described it. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It sounds horrible. I don't know. I can't get past that. Every time Jessie speaks, I get so angry. That's probably why I have like zero emotional connection to Toy Story, because every time she talks, it brings me out of it and it just annoys me. It's horrible. I cannot stand that voice. It's really bad. And I'm really picky
Yeah.
about voice actors because I love voice actors a lot. And
Mhm.
and for one thing, I hate when film actors take voice actor roles, and it's another thing when a bad voice is chosen over when you could just have a multitude of female voice actors play the role. But they wanted a name on a marquee, so whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I hate that. And I think they do that a lot. They just like in these big productions, they'll just pick someone who has a really famous name to play this voice because they don't care. They just want the name, not the
Yeah, and like
person there.
the weirdest thing is, like, I remember when they were trying to market Princess Mononoke, that old Studio Ghibli or Ghibli, whatever you pronounce that, anime, and they somehow they got Billy Bob Thornton to play a role in there, and so it was like starring Billy Bob Thornton. It was like, really? He plays like a small role, and it doesn't fit at all. It was really weird.
I think what did it for me is Over the Hedge had Avril Lavigne as like
Oh my
the
gosh.
little like female like possum. I was like, Avril Lavigne? What? Like, it's like that made
Or like,
zero sense.
yeah, give me a break. So yeah, I don't have a pick for who would replace Joan Cusack, but just anybody out there besides that voice.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
yeah, that's mine.
All right. For my next one, I'm gonna say Topher Grace as Venom in Spider-Man
Oh
3.
my gosh, Mike, you couldn't have picked a better choice for this. I
Yeah.
hated this casting.
Topher Grace. Eric Foreman from that '70s show is playing one of the most villainous Spider-Man villains possible.
My favorite Spider-Man
What?
villain.
Yes. Screw Green Lantern. Or no. Screw
Yes,
Green
well, yeah,
Goblin.
yeah.
Yeah,
As
screw
an
Green
aside,
Lantern.
screw him
Stop.
too.
Yeah. Screw him. Well, just by on the side. Yeah. Green Horn. No, I was
Green, Green Hornet. You're going through all the greens.
I'm going to every green through the green hole. Dang it! Green Goblin.
There you go.
Not even talking about him. Yeah, forget him. Venom was best. They tried really hard in this movie to make him look believable as like, the kind of
No.
douchebaggery
This
kind of.
just that's my biggest complaint about the casting. Well, for one thing, Eddie Brock is not a wimpy little twerp. And the other thing is, I don't know if it was Topher Grace saying, you know what, my face needs more screen time. Because every time Venom would pop up, his mask would like fold back and reveal Topher Grace's face. And he's got the stupid dentures in. And it made me so mad to see his face. And then, you can hear it when he's trying to talk, that he can't talk properly with his fake teeth in. He's like, "Oh, Spider-Man, I'm gonna get you."
Where's Peter?
Oh.
Sorry, Peter. I've got my Venom retainer in.
These guys.
Yeah, man. I just hope with Spider-Man being back in the hands of Marvel proper that they recast Venom. Oh, Oh Lord. So, if they need a tip on who to recast him as, I've got the perfect person. So, apparently, Venom in the comics is a much older, beefier, like dude. We have. He's supposed to be like this big, scary jock dude, which almost makes him double threatening
Mm-hmm.
because his normal self, you know, seems like somebody you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley, and then on he's Venom on top of that, so it's like double scary. So I picked um, who's older now, but is known for being a good bully kind of thug. None other than Tom Wilson, but you might know him as Biff from Back to the Future.
I would love to have seen that.
That that would be so awesome. Would be so awesome. It'd be so perfect, so dislikable, but like in a likable way. You're like, oh, Biff, you sure know how to be a jerk.
Yep,
You know, it'd be brilliant.
absolutely. Good
That'd
choice.
be,
I would love to have seen that instead. I can't stand
yeah.
that. That was the worst casting. I think that should have been number one on the top of this entire list. Topher Grace as Eddie Brock.
Oh, yeah,
Forget that.
yeah. Show over.
That's right.
Roll credits.
Anyways, my next one is a twofer. This one is probably the
Over.
it's a twofer. This is probably the biggest given of the entire thing, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. I picked Hayden Christensen and Jake Lloyd, both as Anakin in Star Wars, and they were both horrible. I don't care how much better Hayden Christensen got by the third movie. It was still just wrong on every level. I do not have a choice to replace him with because I think it should have been a new hire, an unfamiliar face. That's why, it worked so well with the new series because
Not Haley Joe Osment. God.
no, this is for Hayden Christensen.
Oh, yeah.
For Hayden Christensen, I would have picked a new hire, someone totally unknown. Haley Joel Osment. I've always thought about him playing, but I think he's just too familiar a face to play Anakin. It might have taken me out of it a little bit. What I wrote down, I don't know why, but it's just because he's a phenomenal child actor. I would have picked Freddie Highmore. And I know he's British. He's from Finding Neverland.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Just incredible, and he does a pretty impeccable American accent. And if they needed him to be American for Star Wars, but they needed a high caliber actor to pull this off.
And he was great in Bates Motel, or he's great in.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that would have elevated that role a whole lot more. Just hire someone new. Don't let, because I think the problem was with casting was that George Lucas had like the final say. Like he had the casting people bring kids in, and then George Lucas was like, "That kid's got it. Let's bring it. Let's do it." And that was the downfall of the whole series, was that poor casting decision. So
yeah,
that's mine.
Yeah. Would it not ruin someone's life? That kid's a freaking meth head now.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, man. I mean,
I feel super bad for him.
I've watched some of his interviews, and he's just a normal kid, and he's like, man, I get people come up to me all the time saying how much they hate me because I ruined Star Wars. It's like, that's awful.
That's horrible.
It is.
Like,
he's just a kid. He's like excited to work.
Yeah, I mean,
blame George
we would have been terrible too. We would have been just bad. Well, I got him, Jar Jar.
Oops.
Oops. I miss my mom. Oh man, yeah, and that was an inevitable pick. Inevitable.
Yeah.
Speaking of green guys from earlier, I might have dropped the bomb on one of my next picks. Not the Green Goblin, not the Green What was
Lantern.
that? Lantern, yes. But the Green Hornet is my next pick. Seth Rogen as the Green Hornet. Anyway, I can't even do it. That's pretty good. Anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It's just we just know that the movie was they took a gamble. They took a gamble on Seth Rogen, and they lost to the house. That's right. It was a huge flop.
Yep.
The Green Lantern was, and it just
the Green Lantern. Yes, the Green Lantern was a flop.
did I say the Green Lantern?
Yeah.
We all know the Green Lantern was a flop, but I'm not here to talk about the Green Lantern. I'm here to talk about the Green Hornet being a flop.
Oh, this is awesome.
Hornet. Um, yes, it was bad, and they took a gamble on Seth Rogen, and they lost the house.
Yep.
So I think good casting would be, giving it to someone a little more charming, maybe a little older, and that also is funny, but in just like a smooth, way. And I picked Jason Bateman would have been good. Yeah, he's a really likable dude, and thanks to Arrested Development, really kind of honed in and
Yeah, because
on.
I don't think I'd seen him in anything except Teen Wolf was probably the last. That was like Teen Wolf 2
Yeah.
or something.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty
And
obscure, and then Arrested Development brought him back big time.
oh yeah, it was like a revival like none other, and it's proven that perfectly similar actor to play a superhero, Paul Rudd as the Ant-Man, this proves my point. So
Oh yeah,
yes, so Jason Bateman, Green Hornet.
good choice.
Yeah.
Anything's better than Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Ron Swanson's giggle, but I can't do his.
I love Ron Swanson.
All
All
right.
right, my next choice. I picked Nick Cage as Ghost Rider.
Oh.
Gosh, I still refuse to watch these. I will not. The Ghost Rider was probably my favorite comic, and I bought it because it was such a striking image. The skeleton skull and the leather clad hero with the chain whip on a motorcycle. I was like, this is like the coolest looking comic ever. So
Drawing them on your Trapper Keeper.
there you go. Yeah, Ghost Rider, flaming skull. And who do they pick to play Ghost Rider? Probably the gooberiest looking dude ever. I mean, Nick Cage does not intimidate me at all, or anybody, and especially with that haircut. It just looks so bad. I refuse. I won't taint the image of Ghost Rider in my mind by watching that movie. But I know it's bad. I know it's bad just by looking at it.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they made two of them.
Yeah.
If I could, here's my picks. If I could have him go back in, well, he would still be of the proper age. One of them I picked Carl Urban to play him just because I like Carl Urban and he did such a good job in Dredd. I think he would have been a good Ghost Rider. And Michael suggested Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
Yes. But I want young Michael Madsen, not like Kill Bill Michael Madsen.
not like curmudgeon-y fat Michael Madsen. You want
I want like a Reservoir Dogs Michael Madsen.
are you gonna bark all day, little doggy, or are you gonna bite, Michael Madsen?
That's right. It's so intimidating. I think he would have been a great Ghost Rider as well.
He was terrifying in Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, he was.
My goodness. Yeah, so he would have been great.
Yes, he would. Anything other than Nick Cage, I don't get Nick Cage fans. I don't understand why they even has fans, but whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So, I would say the next one on my list is I've just been skipping around here, but another twofer, double feature. Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile in Street Fighter.
What? He was perfect.
It's kind of like a '90s story here, like it's a '90s ballad. We've got Super Street Fighter really popular, and they're making a movie, and they're like, "We've got this huge budget. Who are we gonna get for our main character? Let's get Jean Claude Van Damme. Jean Claude Van Damme, do you want to play Ryu? Heck no, I want to play Guile. They made Guile the main character of Street Fighter instead of Ryu and Ken, and they like gave those roles to two no name
Those are
people.
just like television actors.
Yeah, like bottom of the barrel daytime soaps actors. And so Jean-Claude Van Damme was just awful in that movie, but it was expected to be awful. I mean, it's up there in one of the worst video game movies. So the thing is about Street Fighter, and it is there is a I guess a rule where where you want to make a video game movie, but you want to like respect the source material and not pull a Mario Brothers and have something completely outlandishly off. But you don't also want to make a movie that is completely literal, like too literal. And that's what Street Fighter did.
Oh
And
yeah, I mean, gosh, they really tried to fit every single character in there. I mean,
yeah,
in the most ridiculous ways. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dalsum comes out. He gets his hair burnt off, and it's like, well,
yeah,
I still have my shackles on my arms. I guess I'm Dalsum.
yeah. He was like this like prestigious scientist the whole movie, and then he gets badly burned and his hair goes gone. He's like, "Oh, I get the connection now." Awful.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Oh man, that movie was so bad. I remember seeing it as a kid and thinking like, "Wow, this is bad." Like,
I was just
you
enthralled. I was caught up in the fervor of Street Fighter. I was like, "This is awesome!"
yeah. Um,
Charlie, Charlie. I still say it. I still say it because that's the Guile's partner who becomes Blanca.
oh yeah.
Charlie. He's like, Charlie, Charlie.
Yeah, that movie was ridiculous. So that also brings me to the next guy that on the movie is the next guy that needs to be recasted from this movie, and that's Raul Julia, who played the villain M. Bison.
Oh man.
This is really tragic because he was a great actor,
Mm-hmm.
and he was lovely and enjoyable as Gomez Adams in the Adams Family.
Mm-hmm.
And he had more prestigious stuff that he did. But his last movie was freaking a video game movie, and he was M. Bison, and he died right after the production of this movie.
Yeah.
He got sick and he died. But anyway, he was completely overqualified for this. I decided to recast him with Dolph Lundgren. Because I mean he's already got the villain thing down on his resume, and he's got that like ugly chiseled face, and
Yeah.
he's just like
He's got the accent.
yeah, it just makes sense because he just put him in red, and we're good to go.
I mean, I can imagine because Raul Julia is not a physically imposing person. He's actually kind of twerpy. He's skinny and you get someone more physically imposing versus Van Damme. I think that would have been awesome. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know, but we're recasting Van Damme, so
Yeah, I think yeah, oh yeah, I didn't recast Van Damme. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Okay. And yeah, and for recasting Van Damme, I chose somebody who would actually literally, first of all, All American, and second of all, I chose somebody who literally had like tons of blonde flat tops all the time. I went to our favorite crossover NFL to action star Brian Bosworth as Guile.
There you go.
Wait,
That would have been so good.
yeah, the roided up blonde flat top. Oh my gosh, it'd been awesome.
It would have been.
I mean, the Street Fighter really should have been like the '90s version of the Expendables. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It should have been just like all machismo. You just like turn it up and rip the knob off like a good time, you know? Like that's what it should have been, but
Hmm.
kind of just missed the mark.
Yeah. It kind of fell into the same trap as Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then that is just let's just throw in as many characters as we can. Who cares why? Let's just put them in there, and yeah,
Yes.
it was ridiculous. I still love Street Fighter, just pure nostalgia. But if I were to think on it critically, my head might explode. So
Yeah.
I still just enjoy it.
Yes. Good point. Awesome.
Yeah.
Your turn, my friend.
All right, oh man, this is probably my number one. Rosie O'Donnell as Betty on the Flintstones.
Oh gosh.
I cannot think of a worse choice. I mean, for one thing, let's just get it right out in the open. Physical appearance. I mean,
Yeah.
really, Rosie O'Donnell?
No, didn't.
No,
They must not have screen tested her.
no. I mean, and she's annoying. She has that annoying voice. So, to make up for that, I picked someone who I think is rather awesome, great actress, cool, Jennifer Connelly. I don't know how she is at comedy. I don't even think she's done comedy. She's just awesome. She's a great actress, and
Yeah.
honestly, I had a hard time thinking of a brunette actress, so I just picked one I liked.
I don't think I do a good impression is a good enough reason to be casted as someone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When she tries to do that laugh where she shows all of her teeth, he's like, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, Rosie, you are so irritating.
Uh, who's that? John. Who's that? Comedian that does John Madden in person?
Oh my gosh. Frank
Frank
Calindo.
Calindo. Yeah. Just because he does a good John Madden impression and it's a shtick, does that mean he's gonna be good for doing the John Madden biopic? No.
No.
Yeah. That's not how it works. And yet that was probably like the reasoning in the Flintstones. Be like, oh, Rosie O'Donnell, her show's really popular right now and she has that laugh down. Let's cast her.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, John Goodman, that you could have not have casted that better. It was like such a brilliant cast.
Yeah, and I don't remember thinking it was that great when I saw it, but I recently watched it again. I was like, holy crap, John Goodman was perfect.
Yeah,
He
John
does such a
Goodman.
good job.
John Goodman could not do any wrong.
I mean,
in my opinion.
because he gets the voice perfect. He talks like this, Barn. Yeah, he has that perfect,
Yeah.
perfect Fred voice, and he does a great job. It was amazing,
Yeah.
very good.
Again, John Goodman is like one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Over the line. Anyway,
you're out of your element, Donnie.
yeah, I would have to. I want to make an apology. I just thought of this the other day, and just bringing it up made me think of it. A couple episodes ago, we talked about our favorite movies of all time. I did not put on my list The Big Lebowski, which I love The Big Lebowski.
Me too.
So I would just like to throw that in. You may now get back to your conversation.
Well, yeah, I'm done with
Oh.
with Rosie O'Donnell. I'm done forever with her.
Yeah, I got two more, but I'll make them quick.
Okay.
All right, my second to last one is actually a whole cast. It's Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu as the Charlie's Angels. That's right. They should have recasted them. And you know who they should have recasted them with? No one. They should have shelved the movie. Yeah, that was just awful. So it's like the worst of the late '90s, and the late '90s were a pretty terrible time in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like as far as entertainment and pop culture,
Mm-hmm.
man, rough. And that's when Charlie's Angels came out, which might have been 2000. So it
Yeah,
just
close
missed.
enough.
Lucy Liu and Bill Murray apparently had a famous, just like falling out and didn't get along on this movie. How could you not get along with Bill Murray? You know?
Seriously, he's like the most likable person on the planet.
Yeah. Well, Lucy Liu seems like she would be a very unlikable person.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't stand her.
Anyway.
Anyway, all right. My next two, I'm just gonna go ahead and rattle these off. These are just annoying. Mostly aesthetically. For this, I picked Jessica Alba as Sue Storm in Fantastic Four. Because you think of Sue Storm, you think of like just the blonde housewife, just like
January Jones.
and that's the first person I thought of, but I think she's a terrible actress, so I didn't
Yeah,
pick
she,
January
she
Jones.
lost her right with her terrible X-Men,
Oh yeah,
which in all right, I mean, so was Jessica Alba. So,
yeah.
Alba.
And I thought about it as like who is like the all American female actress. I don't even know if they're American, but they just have that quality to them. I picked someone like a Charlize Theron, or maybe like a Kirsten Dunst, just blonde and actually doesn't look like a Mexican in a blonde wig.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jessica Alba is Mexican, but I think she has some Hispanic in her or something.
She's Latino or Hispanic, yeah.
So,
Alba.
so yeah, that was it didn't sit right with me. Anyways, I picked Angelina Jolie as the Tomb Raider.
Ugh.
And it's just another one of those things is just get the big name actress out there and
Yeah, overcast. Like too big of a name, ruined it, wasn't good.
And to Mike's suggestion, I put on there Kate Beckinsale to play Tomb Raider instead, an actual British person,
Yes,
and
she looked
a proven great action film star from the
yeah, she looks a lot like the rebooted Tomb Raider from the games.
Yeah. And the only thing is she's a little petite. I think she's kind of tiny, but who cares? They recently just cast Alicia Vikander as Tomb Raider, and I think that's a pretty good choice.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So she's playing the new Tomb Raider.
in the new movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they're doing a new Tomb Raider movie.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, there's two. You have how many do you have left?
I think I just have one more.
Okay, I've got two more. So you go your one, and I'll do two more.
Okay. Yeah. So, speaking of short people in tall roles,
Oh gosh, here it comes.
here it is. Worst recasting: Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. Now, I didn't read these books, but when I heard about this, I was so furious. I did see Jack Reacher. I did see the movie, and it was okay, but it's based off of some books, and Jack Reacher is apparently supposed to be what, 6'5",
6'5".
6'6"? Yeah, he's supposed to be this massive, like walking tall guy, and who wants to play him and won't let off because he's got a lot of money and he's a big executive producer, but Tom Cruise.
The smallest actor
Yeah.
in all of film.
What Tom Cruise wants, Tom Cruise gets. And
You don't put baby in a corner.
Yes, thus saith the Tom. And yeah, so he plays Jack Reacher, and he thinks he is all that in a bag of chips when it comes to action blockbuster movies, and he could do no wrong. He could play anybody and it'll be amazing. Like
I like Tom Cruise as an actor. I think he does a great job in action films. But when you're clearly not right for the role, why would you push it to get in that role? I mean, that's selfish. Why not say, I'll executive produce this because I like these movies. Let me help you get the right guy. And instead, I want to be the guy because I like that guy. He's totally awesome. I want to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like me, please.
Short man complex, man.
Yep.
Short man complex. So anyway, yeah. So I went the opposite way. I went extremely, different than Tom Cruise here. And for Jack Reacher, I chose to replace him, recast him with good old Mountain, Thor Bjornsson. Thorfinn Bjornsson. Played the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Oh,
yeah, that's
snap.
strongest man in the world, strongman champion, weighs a staggering 395 pounds and is 6'9". This guy is massive.
He's like
too big to play.
He dwarfs Jack Reacher.
Huh?
He dwarfs Jack Reacher.
Yeah, he dwarfs him. So I mean, considering that like Tom Cruise was so off, we just had to
compensate.
Compensate. So that's why I choose the Mountain, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, it might have to be like he's really hard to understand English. His English is pretty bad, so you'd probably have to be subtitles. But It would be awesome.
Can you imagine him like in an action film, like shooting guns and stuff? Him
so
holding
small.
a rifle would be so tiny, like a little kid playing with toys.
Yeah, you'd have to like hold like a cannon.
You
Or
have
like,
to be like Arnie on Predator carrying down the minigun.
Yeah, you'd have to walk around with an anti-aircraft
He would have like 2 miniguns, one in each hand, like pistols.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be amazing. So, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, and you imagine them dubbing over his voice. If you've ever seen Rumble in the Bronx, the English dubbing would be like that, where the guys are actually they're speaking English. Their lips are, but they overdubbed it with even worse dialogue. It's just.
That's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, they're clearly speaking English, but they dubbed over in the most terrible voices.
Yeah, I love that. I love. What was the movie? Cannibal the Musical.
Oh yeah, you're doomed.
You're doomed. You're doomed. Like the absolute funniest voice actor, Trey Parker. His movie, he redubbed over like this old like mountain man just because it was like awful. So he like purposely made it funny. He's like, "Beware, you're doomed."
Yeah, it's so funny to listen to now.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to Trey Parker's voice. So this is a perfect aside. If you haven't yet, go watch Cannibal the Musical and listen to the commentary because he discusses the whole dubbing over the voice process. It's so funny because you can totally hear South Park because you can't really hear South Park when you hear Trey Parker talk. But when he does that old guy's voice, and it just totally sounds like a character on South Park. He's like, "You're doomed."
Didn't we watch that in college?
We did.
Yes.
I think we also watched the commentary, which was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really good.
Want to say hi to Michael? All right, my next pick. These are my last two. I'm gonna rattle these off a little quickly, just like my last two. I picked Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates in Psycho. I mean, really, you couldn't get any more awkward of a choice. I mean, I think they just picked him because he's kind of tall and he has kind of creepy eyes. Maybe I can't think of any other reason because he's not a very good actor. I mean, he's shown that he can do comedy pretty well. He's got his own little shtick, but Yeah, Norman Bates. No,
Yeah,
no way.
yeah,
When you compare it, especially with Anthony Perkins from the original Psycho, I thought that was just fantastic. And
yeah.
then you got this guy who's just totally not right. No.
Vince Vaughn, like after he did his funny little like kind of breakout role in Swingers, he had a string of trying to do serious movies, and this was like at the tail end of that, and it was just poorly executed. It's just like,
Yeah.
who cares? Vince Vaughn is a likable actor in comedies, the fast talking kind of funny character that works really well. But anytime he does serious, like him in the second season of True Detective, oh man, that was
I've only seen half of one episode.
half one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really dry all the way through.
Yeah.
It's like a big old piece of dry chicken.
Yeah, I just read
Yeah,
that I
it's
don't think they're coming back for a third season.
yeah. I think that they screwed the pooch too much
Hmm.
on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, but so anyway, yeah, and he played a serious character in it. I mean, it might have been the best part of the show, but it wasn't great. And I mean, when you're following, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson from the first season,
Oh yeah.
and just like we're talking about Psycho, he's filling the shoes of the original actor Anthony Perkins, like crazy shoes to fill. That
Hmm.
reminds me of Cape Fear, the original
Oh yeah.
versus the new one. Like Gregory Peck is Cape Fear as not Gregory Peck, but I'm sorry, Robert Mitchum as Max Cady.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrifying in that.
Oh yeah.
And
That's we used to watch that when I was young, and he's got like those weird eyes. He was so creepy in that movie.
yeah, and then they casted the best person they could for it, which did a great job. But I like Robert De Niro as Caddy or Katie, however you say it, like the closest thing to being great,
Yeah.
and that was hard. And I mean, and so you can imagine like the expectations of Norman Bates being casted, and I mean, they didn't even come close. That was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cape Fear had a slightly less scary villain that was brilliant, and they casted it with the arguably one of the best actors, Robert De Niro. Like,
You
and it's
know,
still,
you know what I like to see? I like to see them reboot it again, except keep the whole same cast, except switch the roles and have Nick Nolte play Katie. and
yeah, it actually would work. That's the funny thing about it. Yeah, Nick Nolte's the scary one now, and Robert De Niro's super just like white bread. Yeah, that would be great. I would see that again.
yeah.
Oh man.
But I didn't really have a good choice to replace Vince Vaughn, so I went with someone I'm going to keep his current age. I chose David Tennant based off of his performance in Jessica Jones. I think he would have, and he's got that kind of tall, lanky look to him. So, and that's my choice. And I'm pretty sure I've heard him do American accents. I don't know if it was that good, but hey, a British guy plays Norman Bates on Bates Motel, so there you go. Maybe he could get the same voice coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, David Tennant's my choice. And also, this is probably one of the biggest ones from when we were kids. Kevin Costner as Robin Hood in Prince of Thieves. Yeah, this was the butt of so many jokes in the 90s. It was, I remember around that time, just watching like Saturday Night Live and everything. Everyone always joked about British accents and how Kevin Costner couldn't pull off the accent, kind of thing. It was even joked in Men in Tights. He's like, I think it was, there was a joke in there about it. It's like, yeah, but at least I can hold a British accent or something.
And everybody was like, "Oh,
snap! What?" So I could not have this list of replacing actors with ones I choose without picking the ultimate, and you know who it is. The ultimate actor to play any role altogether. He should have played every role in this list, even the females. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
There you go.
That would be good.
Yeah, because Daniel Day-Lewis, I mean, I guess I kind of compare it to his role in Last of the Mohicans. He pulled that off really well, and playing it similarly as Robin Hood, I think it would have been fantastic.
Man, I completely forgot about him in The Last of the Mohicans. I mean, I love Daniel Day-Lewis so much, but I remember seeing that movie before. I was like, oh, Daniel Day-Lewis. I was just like, this is an epic movie with a great, lead actor,
with fantastic hair.
Yeah, all flowing black hair. Yeah. It's like the Native American Fabio.
Yeah, he reminds me of the bassist for Manowar.
So anyway, I just forgot he was in that, and it sounds a little ridiculous when you're like, Daniel Day-Lewis is Robin Hood, and it's like you're thinking like Bill the Butcher, you're thinking There Will Be Blood. You're just like Robin Hood, and you're like, no, Last of the Mohicans. That would have been perfect.
Yeah. And of course, as Daniel Day-Lewis, he can do anything.
Yes.
So
you must have been like hunting, when Last of the Mohicans came out. Like he's a what is it, a method actor, a character actor, where he takes on the persona of the person he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he was doing that during The Last of the Mohicans.
I don't know. Yeah, well, because he was in My Left Foot before that, and he was a method actor then, so he must. I'm guessing he like lived on the land or something, lived off the land for Last Mohicans or something, because he's done it for his whole career apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you think about that, I'm like, bah, he would have been perfect for Robin Hood.
Yeah, he went around just giving away money that he stole.
Yeah.
Like, what? Oh, thanks, dude.
Steal money from people and then give it to, shoot an arrow in half with a flaming arrow. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that is our list of bad casting choices and our replacement actors and actresses.
Yes, which was good. We covered a lot of ground, covered a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Have no regrets.
Not at all. I wish I could have seen some of these movies, especially the Street Fighter one that you put.
Yeah. Oh, man. It would have been like The Expendables in the 90s.
I'm kind of depressed that we can't watch that version.
I know. Really want to see that. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Brian Bosworth versus Dolph Lundgren. Oh, man. So good.
Yep. Oh, well. Thank you for listening. You all have a good week.
Take care.